Greetings, Earthlings!
Well, we were inspired to do this Tales of Widgeripoo feature film. I want to do every episode. We started with episode 1 because my nephew, Jody Hawkes, found these rolled up in his loft. And what they were for originally back in the 80s, me and Bob Godfrey were, you know, the Roobarb and Custard guy. We were going to make episodes of this for the BBC, but neither of us could get the funding for it, unfortunately. And now Bob's not with us anymore. He's died at the age of 92. Still as inspirational as ever. So now I'll put them in order. 1, 2, 3. This is the storyboard of the first episode, and that's what we're going to do. And I'll show you how we actually put the film together.
Excellent.
Okay.
Thank you.
Lovely. Thank you.
Thank you for explaining. There we go, guys. Great stuff. Yay. Cheers. See you
It's
soon.
not crazy, but hopefully someone will enjoy
Bit of
it.
fun. It's what we need. Thank you. Bye.
So once we've got the storyboard out, as we got from Jody, then we would write a script. I'd written a script for it to do the soundtrack, because you've got to do the soundtrack before you do the animation, obviously. So we set this up on Audacity. This is what I use for recording, and that's a stereo track there. And when I press the red button, which is there, which you can't see probably on the video, we start recording. So Nikki and I are now going to do some recording for the movie, okay, for the Tales of Widgeripoo. Okay, cheers. Right, what you'll see on here when we start recording is the words coming up on there. Not the words, but the sound, okay?
Yeah.
So I've got to switch recording on, and then we start. Are you ready, babe?
Yeah, I'm ready, yep.
Right, here we go then. Something else unwrapped him from the story and then continued.
He dedicated himself to finding dirty habits and set about the task of cleaning them up.
She told him.
And when all the dirty habits of the land of Widgeripoo were cleaned up, he found himself a ladylike habit, and they settled down in their own little habitat. They had lots of little habits, some good and some bad, and they all lived happily ever after.
Happily after what? Asked TikTok.
Ever after, they lived happily, of course.
Explained something else.
For old habits never die.
Silence fell upon the two friends, but they managed to get out of the way in time before it actually hit them. They continued talking until dawn broke. Okay, so you saw us recording there, but of course what we have to do after that is a bit of editing here, and we go to the effects thing here, which gives you all the effects, and we actually recreate from what Nick and I have done Little Elsie's and TikTok's voice, and it comes out something like this. Something else unwrapped him from the story and then continued.
He dedicated himself to finding dirty habits and set about the task of cleaning them up.
That's Nikki told him.
And when all the dirty habits of the land of Widgeripoo were cleaned up, he found himself a ladylike habit, and they settled down in their own little habitat. They had lots of little habits, some good and some bad, and they all lived happily ever after. Happily after what?
That was me.
Ever after, they lived happily, of course.
Explain something else.
For old habits never die.
Silence fell upon the two friends, but they managed. There you are, so that's how we do it, you see. A bit of jiggery pokery, change the pitch of our voices, and suddenly we become Little Else and TikTok.
Brilliant.
That's fun, wasn't it?
That was fun, yeah. Thanks for that. Cheers. Cheers, guys.
Right, there we are. I just finished that, and how we do is to trace each one in a different position. the light box. This is the light box. We used to have big ones like that with an electric light bulb under. This is modern technology. And you'll be able to see that TikTok's moving slightly there. But of course the chair stays static. You see? See that? So that when we switch the light box off, you get used to that, and he goes like that, see? He moves.
Well done. Brilliant.
And then there's all these, he goes from laying down to standing up and talking.
Great.
So that lot then has to go on the,
Wow.
onto that, and we'll show you that later. Okay.
Fab, yeah. Thank you for that.
Of course, in the old system, when we used to do the cartoons in the 50s, so Bob Godfrey, Walt Disney, David Hand, all of those, it used to be done on celluloid and hand-drawn by an artist, then traced onto the celluloid by another artist, then turned over, and then another set of artists would colour all in at the back, so that it's nice and flat. Nowadays, we do it on the computer, and I'm just using plain drawings here with little cutouts and such like, so I don't have to go to the trouble of all that, and I do it all myself, of course, except Nikki helps with the voices, of course. But even so, it's quite complicated, as you see. You see these little flowers on little Elsie's house are going to be pink, so each flower has to be right. I've got it set on the colour, which is there, and I have to go through each frame and colour each little flower in. I've already done the bushes and the greenery. There we are. Quite a process really, I suppose. It's not really as easy as you might think, and then we mustn't forget to save it each time, otherwise you lose it all. So there you go. So that's that stage of the proceedings.
Cheers.
And this is for the feature film of Tales of Widgeripoo.
Lovely.
First episode.
Thank
A
you.
family story for boys and girls.
Hey. Thanks for that. Thanks for explaining.
Okay, thank you, my baby lad.
You're welcome. Enjoy, guys.
Really?
So she invited him round her house. TikTok went round little Elsie's house several times before he decided to actually go inside. By now, it was almost dinner time.
Greetings, Earthlings!